My name is Shao Kahn, and I am the ruler, Outworld, and I came to conquer Earthrealm! What's up, everyone? It's Nitro here, back here with yet another video today. I'm going to be discussing the brand new Mortal Kombat 2 movie that just released 5/7/2026 on Thursday in May. Official release is May 8th, 2026, this Friday, in theaters worldwide. Now, Mortal Kombat 2 is a movie that stars Karl Urban, the same Karl Urban from The Boys, the Amazon show. Stars Karl Urban as Johnny Cage. It also stars a bunch of other people, and it also stars Martyn as what you saw, Shao Kahn. Now, I went into this movie not really remembering much of the Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 2021 about COVID time. That movie came dual released in theaters and also streaming on HBO Max. I did end up watching the pandemic Mortal Kombat movie. I watched on HBO Max back in the day, and I remember not much of it. I remember that there was not a tournament, so it was glad to see that this time around in Mortal Kombat 2, they made an effort into really focusing in on the tournament and honing in on the tournament aspect of things when it comes to the Mortal Kombat. Because we all know, majority of the Mortal Kombat story focuses on and in around the Mortal Kombat tournament and the takeover of Earthrealm from Outworld. I also find it funny that every single iteration, besides MK1, the game that came out in like 2023, besides that game, every other iteration of Mortal Kombat, the story always unfolds with Shang Tsung trying to take over Earthrealm first, and then when Shang Tsung falls and fails, then you have Shao Kahn come into play, and Shao Kahn terrifies Earthrealm and be like, I'm gonna take you over. I always find it funny. It's always in that order. It's always in that pattern. And the reason why I say MK1 is the only different is in MK1, for one, it's an entire retelling and rebranding of the MK universe's story, and two, it starts off with General Shao, or General Kahn. It's not even Shao Kahn. It's just like General Shao Kahn, basically. And he's in MK1, the 2023 game, which again, I find that funny that this majority of MK properties follows that formula. It's always Shang Tsung first, and then it's Shao Kahn after Shang Tsung. Why it's always that formula, I have no clue. But besides the point in mind is the rant. This movie mostly focuses on Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage really does feel like a brand new fish out of water in this universe, and it's basically him finding his footing in this universe, in this, role as Johnny Cage amongst this cast of characters. And when I say cast of characters, you got a good cast of characters. You got a good roster in this movie. You got Johnny, you got Liu Kang, you got a guy I'm not gonna mention, you got Kitana, you got a girl I'm not gonna mention, you got Jade, you got Jade, you got Sonya, you got Jax, you got Noob Saibot, you got Scorpion. For a brief second, you have Sub-Zero, you have General Kahn, and so on and so on. You got Raiden, you got you got Kano. So you got so many people in this cast. There's more and more people in this cast that I'm not going to mention. I think one of them might have been shown off the trailers, but I'm still not going to mention it because he was a surprise to me when I saw him and his clan in the movie. And that's what I'm going to say. It's him. He's a leader of some type of clan. And when I see this leader in the clan in the movie, I was surprised. But yeah, this movie is stacked full of, characters from the Mortal Kombat ethos, which makes me really happy. You also have Cole. Cole returns from the first movie, and I will say, if you were not a fan of Cole, which a lot of people were not a fan of Cole, I didn't care for Cole. So if you were not a fan of Cole, you are gonna love what they do with Cole's character in this movie. If you just straight out hated Cole, you're gonna love what they do with his character in this movie. I think his character was suited well for the role he played in this movie. But yeah, absolutely amazing movie. You got, all these fight sequences. There's a lot of fight scenes, a lot of fight sequences, which that's what you want in a movie adaptating a fighting game. Granted, this fighting game is a fighting game with a lot of lore and a lot of story that can be simply bogged down to good and evil fighting each other in a tournament. That's literally what Mortal Kombat is. Evil, good guy, bad, good guy, bad guy tournament. That is Mortal Kombat to a T. But still, it has really in-depth lore, like Sub-Zero killing Scorpion's family and yada yada. Them being like long-lost brothers. So that's pretty cool. But again, it's nice that there is a lot of fighting in this movie, especially, they're honing in and focusing on the tournament, and also it's Mortal Kombat. You're going to expect fights from a movie or a TV show labeled Mortal Kombat. That's what you do. Even in the comic books, I think they even fight. So, again, I'm glad that there is a lot of fighting. It's cool that they have different scenes and stages. It's kind of funny and jarring at times where when you have the camera flipped to like a pseudo 2D perspective, and it just kind of sets the fighters up like a 2D Mortal Kombat game. I just kind of find that jarring and funny. It's kind of uncanny at times, but still, it's just something about the quirkiness is nice about that. But yeah, I like the fighting locations. They have a lot of fighting locations. Granted, some of them you can definitely tell it's green screen, but I think they incorporate the green screen pretty okay with what may or may not be practical. I doubt there's really much practical going on here. I think it's majority green screen and special effects, but still I might be wrong. But I still like the mix of maybe practical and obviously green screen. Green screen, the backdrops. There's this one fight scene in the trailer that they show off, really brief second, because they didn't want to show who Liu Kang was fighting in that fight scene. But once you see the movie, it's pretty damn badass. But that one scene, it looks like a place from Outworld, and it totally looks like a green screen, like a blue screen background off in the distance. If you see the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. It's literally like a blue backdrop on a temple world or whatever. But yeah, so speaking about Shao Kahn real quick, you get a lot of Shao Kahn, and I think Martyn Ford does a phenomenal job as the actor who does Shao Kahn. He has that menacing, scary voice, and I just like how you get a game-accurate Shao Kahn. This man is a cheap-ass motherfucker for a reason. Also, I like how he looks more menacing in this movie compared to the 1997 Annihilation movie that also had Shao Kahn. In that movie, Shao Kahn straight up looked like he was wearing BDSM gear. I don't know why they put Shao Kahn in BDSM gear. Also, what really annoyed me about that version of Shao Kahn is half the movie, that man had his mask off. And majority of Shao Kahn, you'd see him with the cool skeleton mask. And the fact that he had that mask off in half that movie, why? But yeah, so I like the appearance and the amount of Shao Kahn we got in this movie. I think Shao Kahn looks badass. His armor looks really flipping cool. Again, I think Martyn Ford did a fantastic job. Also, as much as this is a Johnny Cage movie, you could technically also say this is as much as a Johnny Cage movie as it is to a Kitana and her siblings movie. I think they did a really good job with Kitana and the family mythos of Kitana being Shao Kahn's daughter, and Melina and also Jade and all that kind of stuff. So I think they did a really good job with the three sisters and how Shao Kahn was tormenting them throughout their childhood and yada yada, and how Shao Kahn deserves a bad parent. So they did a really good job in that departure. So basically, this movie in my opinion has like three leads. You got obviously Johnny Cage, then you got Kitana, and then I guess your third lead is Raiden. Yeah, I think that makes sense because Raiden does show up in this movie quite a bit. So you got Raiden, you got Luke Cage, and you got Kitana as like your three leads. Majority Johnny Cage and Kitana. But again, I think all the characters and all the cats did a really good job. This is a unapologetically video game movie. If you are going into this movie as a non-fan of video games, as a non-gamer, as a fan, as a non-fighting game fan, I don't know what you're doing in this movie, let alone I don't know what you're doing in the audience. I don't know why a non-gamer is going to a Mortal Kombat movie unless if you just have some nostalgic for the IP, even though majority of Mortal Kombat has always been a video game ever since its first inception. So again, this is a unapologetically video game movie. This movie literally feels like you're watching a video game. It's so video game all the time, and that's what I love about this movie, and that's what, again, I expect when I'm viewing a Mortal Kombat movie. It's for it to feel like a video game, and thankfully it does. And when I mean it feels like a video game, it has video game one-liners, it has scenes from the video game, words from the video game, you got kills from the video game. The kills are brutal as F kills in this movie. But yeah, all around, they did a phenomenal job with this movie. I really can't really find much complaints, maybe a little tad nitpicks every now and then. I will say there is a bit in the movie that's a slight slow and boring, but it doesn't last that long. There is another bit in the movie that happens to a character. The design of the character, again, when you see the character on screen, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I think the design of the character was questionable, pretty funny when you look at him, but again, when you see his character model from the video game, you kind of question yourself, how do you make that in live action? Mostly CGI. Obviously, they use CGI for this character. I'd be surprised if they use makeup and practical effects. But again, when you see the character's model in the video game, you just question yourself, how do you make that? How do you convey that into live action? I think they did a decent, okay job, but they could have done a lot better. It looks pretty funny and jarring. But yeah, I will say compared to all the other live action media when it comes to Mortal Kombat, you got the 95 film and the 97 films, which I recently both rewatched the other day. You also have the 2011 miniseries. You got the Conquest movies. You got a couple other IPs in the, Mortal Kombat naming. But out of all the live action Mortal Kombat, this is by far the best live action attempt at a Mortal Kombat movie. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they did a phenomenal job. This is the best live action Mortal Kombat movie that they could have done for the Mortal Kombat ethos and branding and IP altogether. If you have to ask me, hey, can I go into this movie without viewing and watching the 2021 pandemic COVID era not straight to streaming, but yeah, pandemic COVID era Mortal Kombat? I will say yes, with a caveat of what happened to a few characters in that movie. But besides a few characters, I would say yes, you can definitely go into this movie without seeing the 2021 movie, even without having a recollection of what happened in the 2021 movie. Kano is in this movie, not for long, but Kano is in this movie. The actor does an amazing job. Same actor that played Kano in the 2021 movie, so he's reprising his role. But yeah, you don't have to really see the 2021 movie to enjoy and understand this movie. I feel like majority of the people that go see Mortal Kombat 2 will have a good idea about what happened in the first movie and what happens in this world of Mortal Kombat that they are building currently on the big screen. But yeah, best Mortal Kombat to happen in live action today. I had to give an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. I think this movie is a high B plus, if not a A. Definitely an A. Yeah, definitely an A, if not high B plus. 8.5 out of 10. I highly recommend you go see Mortal Kombat 2 in the theaters, or maybe rate their HBO Max and streaming whenever it becomes available. But until then, this has been Nitro, and I am now signing out. And until then, get over here!